Hello everyone, it's another i80386SX video, and we're going to talk about dial-up again. A few days ago, or at the time of recording, a few days ago, we attempted to connect to dial-up services, particularly Netzero, using an Obi200 box provided with Google Voice phone service. It did not go very well. Now today, I believe that we have found the answer to getting this to connect, so we're going to try it out. In case you did not see the last video, or any of my other videos, we will go ahead and connect as we normally would without any special modifications. I am cheating a little bit on this one because we are using a virtual machine with a serial port tied to it, so. And we will not get any modem noises with this for some reason. I'm using a real hardware modem. It's one of those beige US Robotics 56K modems. If I haven't mentioned it already, this is actually a re-recording, as the first one I made, there were some things that could have been taken the wrong way, and I just don't want to chance it, so we're gonna re-record it. It just sits there and doesn't respond. So, what did I find that may solve our problem? Okay, Netzero wants to be a brat, so I'm just going to restart the whole virtual machine. In this article, from the Obi200 forums, labeled RE trouble with credit card terminal but faxing works great. You see what I have highlighted there? That's the key to our success. Or potential success, I should say. And in order for us to make that work, it's not a feature that is in the Obi200 box by default. All you have to do is you go to codecs. Let's see if it forces me to log back in. The codec profile A is the one you want to select, and it is slower than molasses in January, so we gotta wait around for this to do its thing. Alright, I take that back. It's start code profile A. Okay, so you scroll down all the way to a blank one. The factory default will have 36 codes. So all you do is you uncheck this, then you uncheck this, and then you copy and paste that code in. Because mine already has this, I'm not going to do that. I have the 01 modem, so now that we got our code, how do we get that over to Netzero? Well, first of all, we wait for Windows to do its thing. And I did try this with Windows 10, and I think there's too much background crap going on in that to make that work, so we're going to try Windows 7. If I have to try Windows XP, so be it. Alright, so we go to Netzero Internet. We go to click here. Now we got to put in a phone number. I'm going to put in a fake phone number. I don't know if this is a real number or not. If you want to dial it, well, I can't stop you. I'm not the cops. So we hit that. That was advanced dialing, and you want to put in a prefix of 01, or star 01, more specifically. That's this advanced button right here. So you want to hit continue. And now let's see what happens. Fortunately, I'm on an unfortunate angle. I can't tell what the modem or the Obi200 box is doing right now, so we'll just have to wait this out. Getting further than we did before. Logging into Netzero. And look at that. I'm going to select Work Network. Well, usually the wizard is supposed to tell me if... Oh, there we go. So, what Netzero does now, it didn't 10 years ago when I last actively used this. It will look for the closest numbers or what numbers are local. My Google Voice number does begin with 715330. So the Marinette, Wisconsin and Menominee, Michigan numbers are come up as local. So we'll accept the defaults and we'll try connecting again. If everything goes well, there are 2 pieces of cancer that'll come up after a successful connection. Now, under no normal circumstances do we wish for cancer, but in the case of this situation, we are hoping for 2 kinds of cancers, which you will see if we get a successful connection. If you saw that little blurb about Netzero TV or NZTV, they've been promising that for 15 years. Alright, so far so good. Logging into Netzero. I zoom out the screen at this point. There's cancer number 1 on the top. So that's good. Waiting for the second cancer. Internet Explorer comes up. And it does see in the bottom right hand, now it does say connected. And let's see while we're waiting for Netzero. How fast are we connected? 31.2 kilobits. Look at that. We already have a page coming, so this is really good. I've never been so happy to see cancer in my life. It's even got my personal greeting on there. It says, "Welcome, Jesse." So Netzero knows us enough to give us our personalized greeting. I am not in Texas, but it's good to know that it's 81 degrees in the Dallas Arts District of Texas. We got Grammys 2021, Drew Brees, Oscar nomination, so you know that it's pulling up current events. I'm going to try now to go to email, so whatever crap is in there, we're going to find out together. And when did I exactly stop actively using this Netzero account? I'll tell you exactly. April 13th, 2009. The local cell carrier offered a 3G modem in my area that day. That is the day high-speed internet came out to the house I was at, technically. So, a big day for nerds like me. I don't know how much this is going to prove, but we're going to try and do a ping command while this is doing its thing. We may not get much of anything on this, but we're going to try. And hopefully we're not disconnected. There we go. Let's get rid of that Netzero page once, and let's see where this goes, if anything. Well, we're getting pings, kind of. It's been so long since I used dial-up in a normal way that I don't know if this is normal for it to act like this, but I assume that it is. The Google Voice Box, or the Obi200, Polycom, whatever they call themselves now, is blinking away like it's supposed to. The ping results are quite ugly, but again, on 31Ks of service, I don't know if it would look any better on any 31Ks worth of service. That's a good sign now that we have a title on the page called Netzero Message Center. I don't really think I ever used this email beyond official Netzero business, so I don't think there'll be anything inappropriate in there. Not that I use my email addresses for that anyway, at least not ones I'm going to show publicly. Anybody would admit to that, well, I like an honest person. Let's just go with that. And while we're sitting around waiting for this, I had a coworker ask me while I was doing this and testing stuff out for Dude1 of all people, and I'll get to that in a little bit, why Dude1, is that why would you use dial-up when we have high-speed internet? It's a very good question that he asked. Well, I told him recreation, which is absolutely correct, and to access files on your retro PCs. That's why Dude1 set up his own dial-up service, and I can put a link to that in the description. But during the research on this, the more I looked into this, there are a few things that absolutely require 56K dial-up only. For example, some of your TiVos get their schedules, or the TV programming, through the phone line. Credit card machines also get many of them that are still in existence, also get phone service, or phone service only. I have a customer that has an ATM that is phone service only. Although, I am not using Obi200 on that, I am using something similar, which I will, once I get the time and more resources, I will go and show you the great money savings that I gave her going with the service that we'll talk about later, mainly because I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head. And the Netzero Message Center is still working away. Let's hope we don't use our entire 10 hours doing this business. And we are still pinging throughout this whole thing, so... Oh, did I speak too soon? No. And, I don't know, the screen did not change color. Let's go take a look and see if actually any data is actually going across at this point. We'll stop that just for a bit. And indeed it is. So we'll give this a couple more minutes before I give up on this completely. I tell you what, this much, I've been fooled a couple times here into thinking that something positive is happening, when in reality it's this stupid banner up on the top. And I don't know how much data this Netzero message sender actually takes up, so... But I think at this point I am going to give up on this. We'll go to Google. We'll see what that does. And it's already loading a page. Although this might be cache, so this might be fool's gold here. Maybe not. So we got Google. We're going to look up our favorite term, at least on these videos. And also Bob Ross got lots and lots of happiness out of this subject. Trees. Oh yeah, and also too, if you are using the Netzero free service and you don't want to use Internet Explorer, all you have to do is close out of Internet Explorer and then go to your browser of choice, or what I like to call a real browser. That could be up to debate of what you call a real browser, but everyone in the IT world will agree that Internet Explorer is not a real browser. Well, the new Edge actually I kind of do like, so I do use that quite a bit. So Microsoft may have finally got a web browser right. Nothing of significance has loaded beyond what we see in front of us. Once we get some pictures to download, then I will move on from the Windows 7 computer, and we're going to try our chances at a computer with a Win modem. You may have seen it before. It is the Compaq Evo N600C notebook. We're getting some results. We're getting small pictures now, so this is a good sign. Now we got a picture. And our ping tests are going in and out. That's to be expected. We'll wait for a couple more images to go, and then we'll cut this test off. I'd like to see what Netzero is going to ultimately do when Internet Explorer is completely retired by Microsoft. but honestly, I don't care enough to make a stink about it. And we got quite a few pictures loading now, so we're moving along pretty good here, and we have sustained this connection. We'll go to our adapter settings. We've been on for almost 15 minutes, so that's really good. And so far, all it took was one lousy command and a prefix. That was it. That was the missing piece. Oh, wait for 2 more images to load. Okay, well, we're one. I have no idea when my 10-hour limit resets, but after these dial-up videos are done, I won't care. And there's 8. So I'm going to close this window out. And now that we have absolutely nothing open, the ping times should eventually settle back into the 600-700 milliseconds range. Or it's going to make a liar out of me. Maybe the toolbar on top does suck some bandwidth. I'm honestly not sure. There we go. So generally speaking, this is about what your normal ping times would be on any dial-up, regardless if it's VoIP dial-up or what am I going to say? The traditional POTS, plain old telephone service line. And we'll go to our modem here, and come on. Give me properties. Alright, there's our properties. Our modem speed, as it is at default. The maximum port speed, I did not mess with any of these settings whatsoever. So now that we've been connected stably for 15 minutes, and I am going to disconnect from this, and we're going to go over to the Compact Evo with the Win modem to take our chances on that. So, with the magic of video editing, I will get this software installed on it, and we will be on our way with that. Okay, we are now at the Compact Evo. I did turn the lights off as I was sick and tired of the glare, so we'll see how this computer fares. And just to show you that we're definitely dealing with a Win modem. This is an Ager or a Gear, I don't know how to pronounce that, Win modem. And everything is defaulted to factory settings. Now, I already did take the trouble setting this up offline, so it should be just a connect deal. We have been informed by your phone company of changes in the way... whatever. Okay. So, yeah, same stuff. Those are still local numbers. The state of Wisconsin is now going to be required to dial all 10 numbers, the area code and the number, in the near future. The 715 area code already did it, so no changes for us, but... looks good. And we are waiting for the 2 cancers to load right after that. There's 1 cancer. There's the 2nd cancer. And I'm surprised that I didn't see a connection in the bottom, but let's go take a look and see. 31.2 kilobits. Yeah, I'm just going to go to Google. I don't want to waste any more time than I already have to waiting for Netzero's garbage to load. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I don't know if this computer has that problem or not, where literally everything is a certificate error. So let me go into Mozilla Firefox. It is very possible that I also have the ProtoWeb proxy in one of these machines. If that is the case, then we will roll with that. And I can very quickly tell you. That's another video I do have going. It's basically the ProtoWeb project is basically the internet from 1997, or at least a few pages that I visited. To this point on their service is basically the internet in 1997. I wonder if I got booted. I don't know, folks. This may not look good on this machine. Well, that's it. Just gotta remember how to get to the proxy server settings in Firefox. And I am not using that, so... Well, we're going to. Way back. Alright, so now let's try the inode. I don't know if this is going to work anyway. I'll try to turn that light on and gives it a little bit more. It says connecting, so I don't know if that's good or bad yet. I guess one thing we can do, provided I don't shake around too much, is see what the good old-fashioned ping test will tell us. And that does say it did indeed time out. We are getting pinged, so that's good. Let's try to go to something that's not in their database, as I want to get that page. Oh, you know what? On third thought, let us go to a private window, and let's go to compact.com. I know that website is in their database. So if we're connected in any way, shape, or form, that should go in shortly. We are still connected. Oh, RotoWeb might be down, folks, because I know that website's definitely on there. We'll try the... We'll try 8756, which is supposed to emulate dial-up, which we're already on dial-up, so it is a little redundant, but we're going to give it a try. I think we definitely got some fool's gold thing going on here. We definitely got some fool's gold going on here. So let me take this offline, and then once I get this back on, or getting it to browse the web in any capacity, then we'll continue this video. Okay, so now that we got Google to load, and some wildly inconsistent ping settings, we are going to do the best friend of the trees for a search. And generally great guy, Bob Ross. Bob Ross liked his happy little trees. If this loads, we're going to have happy little nerd. And it does look like it's transferring data if you go according to Firefox, so... And given the wild ping patterns, we may actually be getting somewhere. It's hard to say with dial-up. And you never know if we're actually disconnected or if it's actually looking for data. I do legitimately think it's looking for data at this point. We're transferring data from various Google sites, so this, if we actually get any results, this is a really good sign. And we know Google is mostly up because our ping command is going to Google's DNS servers, or one of their DNS servers. There we go. We got one photo, we got two. We got a happy little tree. We got more happy trees. We have Bob Ross. And I tell you what, anybody that doesn't like PBS and say they never did anything good, Bob Ross was on PBS. It actually says it right there, that it aired on PBS, so if you don't like Bob Ross, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. Well, we got Old Mill, we got lots of artwork, and this is going real good. Let's go to our network connections real quick before I retire this video. We've been connected for a little under 12 minutes at this point. We'll wait a few minutes and see if the page completely loads. And I know we can only do so much with a 56K modem, but we may be at a slight advantage here because we're using a real modem. The specs on this computer are quite underpowered compared to the VM I was using. The VM was off of I think it's like an i5 8500 or 6500 processor. I can actually go look. Yeah, so an i5 6500 at 3.20 gigahertz. And I gave that VM 4 gigs of RAM. Here we're using a powerhouse Pentium 3. And I would argue that this system is performing better over the dial-up than the modern VM. Yeah, and I think we proved our point here, so I'm going to close out of this. Those pig times should go back to the 600-700 range shortly. So, there it is, folks. We are on. If I can get the Ethernet cable to reach, and pardon my mess, we play Follow the Phone Line. We are on a Polycom box. That is where your phone service is going. And as you can tell, the light all the way to the right is the phone service. That means when it's blinking, that means it's in use. So, no tricks. At least for that one. The other one you could debate because we didn't actually bring it in. But if you're going to debate me, I think you need a new hobby. So, I'm going to disconnect this. And there you have it. We're disconnected. We got on dial-up on two different systems. One a wind modem from a Pentium 3, and another with an old US Robotics beige 56K modem. Now, little word of warning, if you try this with something with a soft modem on it, you may not get anywhere. If your other recipient, such as like DOS Dude 1's dial-up service, which is also on VoIP, that may not actually ever work either. So, your results may be very mixed. You may have to do a lot of research, and there may be some trial and error with modems and whatnot to try and get this to work. And especially the newer the laptop, the less likely this is going to work. If you have something like this Compact Evo, you're all home free. If you have a Compact LTE Lite, like I have several of them, if you can get Netzero to actually load on there, it's going to work great. If you have the engineering nightmare known as the Panasonic Toughbook CF19, for example, you're going to have a bad time. It has a soft modem, and it doesn't connect. I tried that in the other video. So, enough babbling for now. The next video that's going to come up, I'm going to pretty much do the same with this, except I'm going to use AOL on a Windows 98 system. I'm going to try my Compaq Armada 7770DMT on that AOL service. That is at a request of a YouTube user. And I keep forgetting the guy's name, and I apologize for that. I'll have to... Oh yeah, speaking of which, he did email me back just now, and so yeah, at the request for my next video, Show Me State Elevators, we're going to use AOL 4.0, or at least try to, on Windows 98. So, I opened my mouth enough today, so if you have any questions or comments or constructive criticism, please feel free to leave them in the comments section. I will do my best to answer any questions about the ObiTalk box, but I can't guarantee it's going to work on your system. So, thank you again for watching.